In this tutorial, I'll show you how to cut a baggy t-shirt into a braided racerback tank top. I think it makes a nice workout shirt, especially when it's hot outside. It can also make a nice shirt to wear over your swimsuit or a bandeau. I'll show you how to make a braid pattern on the back that you can customize by using whatever color combination you want. Here's what you can use to make this racerback tank top. You'll want to use a shirt that is a little larger. The t-shirt I'm going to cut is a large men's tee. First, fold it in half so that both sides line up even. There are seams on the shoulder area which you could just cut through, but I don't want to see the seams split like this after many washes, so I'm going to cut a tab at the end of the seams and stitch it over to protect them from splitting. And you don't have to cut tabs like I am, it's totally up to you. I'm going to cut off the sleeves about 2 inches away. Since I'm cutting tabs, I'm going to do that first, and then cut from the armpit to that point. You can save the sleeves for later. Now unfold it, and on the back, cut a small hole in the center just a bit above the bottom of the armholes. I'm going to cut a V shape to the hole I made, and then cut tabs on the shoulder seams. I'm using a piece of tape to keep the width of the straps the same on both sides, which is about 2 inches. So I'm cutting next to the seam up to the tape, and then straight to the hole in the middle. Use the same tape to repeat on the other side. So now you should have something that looks like this. The wider you leave these areas, the more the braid will pull in on the midsection of the shirt. I don't want it to be too tight, so I'm going to trim a little more away from these areas on the back. If you do end up trimming a little off, try to make it the same amount on both sides, but it doesn't have to be perfect since these will be covered up anyway. Then stretch the cut ends. This will help finish the edges. Now I'm going to cut up the sleeves to make strips. These are from other t-shirt projects, but you can use the sleeves from the shirt you're working on as well. You can also use other materials like ribbon or even shoelaces. There are a couple of ways you can cut these strips. One way is to make the longest strips you can by cutting both sides in a zigzag type pattern. I don't want the leftover seams, so I'm cutting those off. This may seem like a funky way to cut, but it will give you longer strips to work with. Then stretch the strips. If you do cut strips this way, your braid will look something like this. It has more texture, but you won't have to tie on as many knots because it's longer. If you want a less messy braid like this, you can cut the sleeves up evenly like this. Just know that since the strips are shorter, you'll have to keep tying them on one by one, making more knots on the braid. Either way you want to cut up the sleeves, it's totally up to you. Okay, now to make the braid, make sure the straps are even, and on one strap, tie on a strip. And make it so that the knot isn't showing on the outside. Now take the strip under the other strap and cross it over. Make sure the straps stay even while you do this. Continue to cross over the strip, under and over from each side. When you have just a little of the strip left, flip it over and tie it onto one of the straps. Then tie on your next strip and weave it on the same way. When you're finished, adjust the braid if you need to. I wanted the braid closer to the bottom, so I pulled it down a little. Then tuck in the ends of the strips and trim them. Now try it on to figure out where to cut the neckline. I'm using tape for my guide. If you're cutting tabs on the shoulder seams, cut those first. And then cut out a scoop shape for the neckline. Then stretch the edges. Now if you cut tabs, sew them over. I'm using a needle and thread, but if you have liquid stitch, that will work too. I didn't go too crazy with the sewing, I just looped one big stitch. After that, this racerback top is done. To wash, I use the delicate setting. I will say after washing it, the cut edges laid down a lot better. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and feel free to comment below and share pics of the tops you made on my Facebook page, Twitter, or Instagram. You can find direct links to my pages in the description below. There are a lot of ways you can cut a t-shirt, so I made a Pinterest board with some of my favorites, and you can follow this board at the link below. For more tutorials, be sure to subscribe and check out my channel. For another t-shirt cutting tutorial, watch the video to the left. To the right, you can find ways to custom paint your keys. You can also find these links and more in the description below.